Hello there, Twitch chat. How you doing today? This is Koi on commentator with me, Hugo. He's getting a drink real quick. He'll be with us in a second. We have an Enemizer race today. Enemizer being a lot of fun. Chain chomps everywhere. Cross your fingers. Our runners today are OO, Bach, Send Help, and Fart Agent. They are very good at naming, I'd say. I think otherwise it's just a regular open seed, but we do have Enemizer and full boss shuffle. Full boss shuffle means that 3 bosses get doubled, but there will be at least 1 copy of every single boss in the game. Probably Trinex in Lamo 2's room, but you never know. Imagine we'll get started here shortly. Thank you guys so much for being here this afternoon. I love Rando, and I love Enemizer Rando, and I love watching other people play Enemizer Rando. And begin the race. And now. All right, apparently my powers of controlling future events have faltered. I blame Fart Agent. Okay, here we go. Alright, so we have Mystic and Plasma. Oh no, just Mystic starting in Link's house there, while our other runners are all in Sanctuary. Uncle Start a little less powerful, I'd say, in Enemizer because of the possibility of getting some really gross enemies here in the Uncle's room. Luckily,
hello.
There's Hugo. Hey, Hugo.
It's nice to be here.
Looks like everybody found something to kill, so we will all get that tree pole. Unfortunately, just single green rupees today.
Is this even randomized? Also, that bush crab is almost vanilla.
Yeah, unfortunately, they do need gloves to find out what he carries. There's some nerves of steel picking up those bushes to get to the lumberjack deck. In Enemizer, bushes tend to have a much higher chance of having enemies under them, and the enemy you find is random and can one-shot you. But it looks like nobody has a severe advantage here. Ooh, Lynn finding a bush crab with an actual bush, dropping plenty of rupees, so that those rupees that Mystic got from the Uncle Start not going to be too impactful.
Yeah, so there seems to be a little high on the population of the bush crabs over here.
Virgin opting to immediately save and quit from the Lost Woods here, hoping to find something better before making their way to Kakariko. Like a bunch of rupees. Oh, he's going to go after the 50-50 bushes. Again, this is Enemizer. While the 50-50 bushes are still 50-50 bushes, every other bush could have a chain chomp, or a spike roller, or a thief who steals your bombs. Oh, very lucky getting 2 bombs right away.
Speaking of thieves, there's something that can happen in Enemizer where you can actually kill the thieves. So get back for all the times they stole their stuff.
Yeah, it used to be like a setting, but then they changed it, and now it's a 50% chance every Enemizer seed for thieves to be killable or unkillable. Plasma Kappa with a little bit of meta routing here, going straight to Sahasrahla before Kakariko or South Shore. Maybe going into Eastern too. So one of the caveats of Enemizer is that the Igors that you normally need the bow to kill in Eastern Palace will definitely not be Igors, or at least not red ones. I think you'd still want to have like a weapon before going to Armos, though, or whatever boss is at Armos.
Yeah, the kill rooms have been adjusted so that they only have things that are killable by a sword.
Well, by bombs.
I think that as well. Oh look, an instant bolt prepared.
So Plasma Kappa does
Dude.
find a bottle, though, which will make his trip to Kakariko a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone saw that bottle by Lumberjack.
Lynn going after Flipper checks to start, gonna make his way over to Ice Rod Cave, and then he's got the rupees, so probably over to Zora afterwards. Oh, he was gonna go up that way, but the Gibdo will one-shot him if he accidentally walks into it, so it goes the safer way. Fear and Mystic making their way through Kakariko, but in reverse directions, and Lynn finds a glove in Ice Rod Cave. I don't think that's going to evade any of our runners for too long since they already have those flippers, but, you know, it's very nice to find that early.
So Fear Agent pulled the King of Somaria from the chicken house.
Definitely a nice pickup. That is currently our only semi-reliable weapon, although the only person with magic is Mystic. Alright, we'll see if these flipper checks end up paying off for Lynn, while Plasma Kappa is going through Mini Moldorb Cave with bombs. Pretty nice enemies for killing them with bombs. The Babasus are some of the worst. Lynn finds a flute in Waterfall Ferry. That's actually a really nice find because he has not been to Kakariko yet. So everybody else is going to have to make an extra trip there if they don't also do Waterfall Ferry first. The most dangerous trek ever. Oh my god, that BMOS. But that was a hammer on Zora Ledge. Lynn is going to have a glove and hammer before a Kakariko dive. If we can round this out with a Moon Pearl, he might be able to just go right into the Dark Hole from Kak. Just a piece of heart on Zora, so all those rupees are lost to the fish, but I'd say Lynn's pretty happy with this hammer. So what did we actually find in Kak? It was just Kana Samaria, right? That's the only thing I remember. And a shield, okay. Probably not too impactful, that shield. Although it does make the chicken pretty funny looking. Oh, and Blue Mail. We did find Blue Mail somewhere. I just noticed it's the blue cuckoo. What's he called in Ocarina of Time? The cuckoo? The blue one? Like, Anju? No, that's the girl's name. I can't remember. Kojiro, right. Thanks so much, chat. And that is a mirror on the library, so likely gonna need that before the end of the seed, although it's not guaranteed. Hopefully it means we find boots pretty soon. You're gonna put his B to use, try and get some of these enemies out of the way. He got one of the mini molders to just walk right off the edge. That'll do it. And Plasma Kappa also finishing up the flipper checks and ending with that hammer. Although Plasma has not done Ice Rod Cave. Alright, as we continue full clearing the light world here, looking for this Moon Pearl. We can only assume it's going to be in like Eastern Palace or Agena. I believe we've seen everything else, but the flute will also give us logical access to Spectacle Rock Cave, which could be the answer. It is a pretty significant time sink to walk all the way up there, especially knowing that the mirror is one item away from being accessible. Another thing that our runners could do is sequence break the old man, but in Enemizer, dark rooms are way more terrifying than they are normally. Sometimes there's just a Lionel just sitting right in the middle, and there's nothing you can do about it. And in the dark, it is a very, very difficult trek to avoid him. Lynn activating his flute, and we'll get to see what he does with it. I'll imagine he'll finish Kakariko first. Your agent making his way to Ice Rod Cave, our second runner to do so. We'll find a glove here. Gonna need that. The cards on the Kakariko screen making the noise. I love how the music changes just because there's a guard. It's not actually tied to talking to the NPCs. It's just because there's a guard on the screen. Looks like Fear Agent just a little shy of rupees for Zora. He's going to have to dive into this 20 rupee cave quite a few times to get the rupees, which will end up being, for the most part, a time loss for him because Zora doesn't have anything, but, he doesn't know that. Lynn, of course, had plenty of rupees because of his extra farming of that bush crab we saw in the Lost Woods, which was spitting out red rupees like candy. Okay, Mystic also headed over to Ice Rod Cave, gonna get that glove, leaving just Plasma Kappa missing the glove. And with the flute, it makes it a lot easier to go to Ice Rod Cave, though. Like, he'll be able to just fly over there real quick when he gets stuck enough. Alright, so Lynn chooses not to flute away and is instead going straight to Back of Escape with that glove. Generally a very efficient play. Back of Escape is difficult to route in with other things, so doing it as soon as you can typically makes a good play. Oh, the multiple thieves, though. And they are killable. That's good news. That Lionel making his life hard. In the Back of Escape, we find rupees, piece of heart, and rupees. No luck for Lynn. He'll have to go somewhere else. And looks like he's choosing to go front of Escape. Hasn't seen the uncle yet. Although we know that there's nothing there. Ooh, Plasma Kappa right behind, opting to do this before Ice Rod Cave. Meanwhile, Mystic and Fear doing flipper checks. Fear about to finish up with his hammer grab here on Zora Ledge. Just that Moon Pearl away from Dark World access for all of our runners. The walk to this chest and the uncle turned out to be very dangerous. It's hard to avoid those little octo-balloon babies in the tiny narrow hallway. Alright, Fear following Lynn and Kappa into front of Escape. So logical requirements do not change because of endomized enemies. So even in places where, like for example in Eastern, where normally you need the bow to get through the back rooms, it still logically requires that bow, even though they never require the bow. The boss shuffle, though, does change logic. So, say, for example, we have Trinex in Armos's room. The Ice Rod will always be available before that boss. I think that answers your question. I'm not sure. Let me know. Killing mini Moldorms with hammers, never fun, but Lynn, take care of it, no problem. So does Plasma Kappa. And there is our Moon Pearl. That is Dark World access for Lynn, but Plasma Kappa still has to go to Ice Rod Cave. So often when there's an enemy in the way in Enemizer, there are ways to get through it using iframes. So often you can just like use a bomb to push yourself through an enemy. That would be like the logical way to get through that Beamos who is blocking the way if you didn't have flippers. Stuff like that is not accounted for by the logic, and sometimes, especially like the front of pod, it can be very, very difficult to get through. All right, so Lynn with Dark World access, likely going straight to Hype Cave here. Plasma Kappa gonna have to flute somewhere. Oh, Lynn's not going to Hype Cave. Instead, down to South Shore, which he hasn't done yet, I guess. All right, Plasma Kappa heading over to Ice Rod Cave. This will be his Dark World access. Fear found his own Dark World access in front of Escape with that Moon Pearl. And Mystic still missing the Moon Pearl, probably headed to front of Escape soon-ish. So the boss shuffle today is full boss shuffle, not chaos or random. Chaos being the old name for random. The full boss shuffle is there is at least one of every single boss, and 3 of the bosses are randomly chosen to be doubled. Making good use of iframes there was Fear Agent, not getting hit by the Lionel shot because he had just got hit by a bomb. And here is Lynn going to Hype Cave. Awesome. Mystic turning in a fish for big money from the bottle merchant. And Lynn's our first player in Dark World, where we find out there are reds at the Flipper Dungeons and pendants at Thieves and Turtle Rock. Not the best pendant layout I've ever seen, but not bad. Anytime you see pendant TR, it's a good thing. Fear just behind Lynn, heading on to Hype Cave. Plasma Kappa right behind that. Mystic being a little more thorough before front of Escape, gonna look for something in Nagina's Cave. Could pay out. Lynn finding Mitts in Hype Cave right behind its Fear Agent and Plasma Kappa, gonna get that as well. Mitts unlock quite a bit of the world, including Meyer Shed right now with that flute. I don't believe anybody else did a Gina, so if this is something, it could be a huge difference maker. Just 5 rupees, so Mystic gonna have to go somewhere else. I think we're nearly out of checks there for Mystic. Just front of Escape and Eastern left for him. Thanks for the shield, Stumpy. Really appreciate you. Fear losing all of his bombs to that thief. Down to 2 bombs already. He'll be fine. Oh, Mystic making the Eastern play instead of front of Escape. Gonna take a quick trip over to the hospital first. Nobody wants to go into Eastern with this equipment set. Dark rooms, again, very dangerous in Enemizer. So all three of our runners, after finding Mitts, decides to route west from Hype Cave over to Thieves Town. This makes a lot of sense. With the Mitts, we can just walk straight into Village of Outcasts. That 10 gator under the bush, almost getting Plasma Kappa, but he's got a heart remaining. He'll be okay. Bushes are the enemy.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back, Hugo.
Yeah, it's hard when people start talking full volume next to you.
Nothing too exciting has happened while you're gone. We're just Mystic seems to be going into Eastern Palace instead of Front of Escape, which everybody else got to skip. So we know he's not going to find Dark World access here in Eastern, but he could find something else. Oh my gosh, it's a big spike right in the way.
Actually, I've been watching the entire time and just couldn't turn on the mic.
Okay. Mystic,
oh god, those double spikes.
Yeah, very dangerous walk to Eastern, but Mystic handles it with Flare. Doesn't take a single heart of damage. Plasma Kappa picking up the Smith. Interesting note, Fear did not pick up the Smith. So the Smith, he will not let you go into Thieves Town, unfortunately. And without the mirror, our runners will have to skip Thieves Town if they picked up that Smith. Yeah, Lynn doing the save and quit there.
They can get back here really fast.
Yeah, we have mitts, so it's not a super long trek to get back to the Dark World, and the flute even makes it faster. But this will put Fear a little bit ahead in checking these locations in Village of Outcasts. But, you know, find something good on the Smith, and suddenly Fear is really behind. Trying to keep an eye on Mystic to see if he finds anything here in Eastern, because nobody else went in here.
Apparently it's a rupee counterfeiting ring.
So Lynn, after turning in the Smith, does not go back to the Dark World and Village of Outcasts, instead going over to the Mire area. It's kind of it's a little bit of a disruption in the route, it feels like, but it ends up not being a big difference maker, because like he had to flute anyway. Plasma Kappa doing the same thing.
Mire seems to be Ether.
Yes, I think that is right. Oh, look, and Ether's right outside. Oh my god, and it's full clearable. Gross.
We're missing either the hookshot or the boots to get in.
Oh, right, yeah, that's true. Can't get past that first room. So it looks like Mystic has not found anything good in Eastern Palace so far, and is now doing dark rooms in Enemizer. This is quite terrifying.
Yeah, so the Mire entrance, we have to remember, that room has about 6 enemies, and they can be anything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of the worst Enemizer rooms in the game. Right up there with that that room Mystic's headed to right now, right before, right after that big key door in Eastern. He does make it through the first set of dark rooms though, and finds the hook shot in vanilla big key chest in Eastern. That is a nice find. That's a nice find, because now when he gets to where everybody else is, he will be able to do Mire.
There is still one problem with since we have a full-on boss shuffle, we can have try next there.
Yeah, absolutely. There are several enemies that he wouldn't be able to kill at the boss of the dungeon. Lynn finding Fire Rod in front of Thieves. I assume Fear also has that. I didn't catch it when he found it before. Oh, Fear having a little trouble with this room here. Down to 1 heart.
Mystic took a death.
Yeah, super not surprising. That is one of the worst rooms in the game when it comes to Enemizer. So Fear dives the boss of Thieves Town before going to the back here and finds a Vitreous. And Vitreous with nothing but a hammer, very, very difficult to add on. Only 4 hearts to work with. Yeah, I don't think that was... it wasn't in the stars. So it looks like Mystic did abandon Eastern Palace and is now doing the Old Man Dark Room. I've never seen someone so willing to do Dark Rooms in Enemizer before. But yeah, that early hookshot could absolutely be a huge difference maker in this race. Like if the hookshot locks both bows or something, Mystic probably has a pretty good lead, even though he's put off Dark World access for so long. Yeah, Lynn sees Vitreous and immediately nopes out of the fight, taking that Death Warp on purpose. Not at all interested in trying to kill that. Although it is technically possible and considered in logic.
I mean, they have Fighter Sword.
Yeah, you can spin the little eyes. It would take so long, and you're constantly like 1 hit from death the whole time. It would feel very, very bad to spend such a long time fighting a boss and then die right at the end or something. So I definitely respect Lynn's call to not even bother attempting it. Odds are pretty good. We're just going to find something awesome later and make that fight way easier. Like a bow, or literally anything else. Plasma Kappa trying to do this bomb jump. Looks like he missed it a couple times, but nails it on the 3rd attempt. So I do have to question Mystic's decision to follow the hookshot here, because his hookshot was out of logic, and it's not like he has a different fire source. But I assume he's coming to the mountain thinking that it's probably like lamp in front of a skate leading to Moon Pearl on the mountain. But the thing is, like, in that situation, you still want the lamp, so like it makes sense to just go to front of a skate.
So I'm wondering, which one of them is going to remember that Eastern no longer requires a ball?
Well, it does, is the weird thing. So
Eastern?
like, yeah. So in Enemizer, the enemy shuffle happens after the items are placed. So when the game is placing items everywhere, it's still red Igors in Eastern Palace. So then the Enemizer happens, and suddenly those red Igors are always replaced with something else. So the items are still logically locked by the bow, even though they are never actually locked by the bow, if that makes sense.
Huh. Okay, that is one thing I didn't know. But it makes sense as well, because Enemizer's added the final steps.
Yeah, and then the other thing to consider is like what you were talking about before, is how the bosses are shuffled. Well, Eastern is one of the worst dungeons ever to have to double dip to the boss. Like, you have to go all the way through the dungeon just to make your way to the boss, compared to something like Skull Woods where you can split it up and go just to the back. So trying to go to Eastern early when it's out of logic and it might be a Trinex ends up being kind of dangerous.
So Floating Island has red mail.
Yeah, it would definitely be nice to find that. Lots of enemies can appear just randomly on the overworld that do 4 hearts of damage. Red mail would mitigate that down to 1 or 2.
Okay, Lean and Lean going over to Skull Woods boss room.
Yeah, following that Fire Rod and Sword. Fear Agent going after Dark Cross here. I think this is our first look at this. Everybody did back of escape, and everybody who got the Moon Pearl in the front opted not to Death Warp and try to do these Dark Rooms. But with the lamp, this is a much less dangerous play. But you can see how many Enoxes there are. That would not have been fun in the dark.
I mean, the nice part about this room is that enemies don't transition from dry to wet.
Just 3 bombs in Dark Cross. Mystic going through Tower of Hera, trying to do Hera Pot here, because this is fire locked. Unfortunately, Mystic hasn't found Fire Rod or Lamp yet.
Trying to find a position without a sword is pretty nasty. And oh
Yeah.
look, it's a Molder.
Yeah, Molarm, one of the tamest bosses to find in the worst boss room. He is, like, annoying to kill, though, because he's constantly on top of his own tail, which you have to hit. So Lynn has to wait for him to, like, drag the tail away before he can get that shot in. There we go. Mystic does get the bomb jump and makes it up to the top of the dungeon. Oh, nice sword there on Mocula, aka Noldorm.
A shame that we got normal eyes. That's not usually the case.
Yeah, it's just random. And Mystic finds Helmasaur up at the top of Tower of Hera. This is not the greatest time to be fighting Helmasaur. With the sword, it would be a lot simpler. But he does have that hammer, so this is killable pretty easily. Just don't get hit too many times.
Yeah, the problem is he pretty much covers that 2-floor drop
The
in the middle.
pit, yeah. Yeah, when Helmasaur is standing over the pit, it changes like the way the hitbox mechanics work, and sometimes you just can't hit his mask. Mystic could have opted to like throw bombs. Yeah. Mystic could have opted to throw bombs. That's often a way you end up killing Helmasaur and Enemizer. Yeah, you can see right there he wasn't able to hit the mask. I'm a little concerned about phase 2 here, though. He's already down to 3 hearts. And everything does 1 heart of damage to him. Down to 2 hearts now. Yeah, trying to get the hammer hits without a sword is very dangerous. Oh, and things aren't looking good.
Yeah, that's the problem with the...
Oh, is it 3 hits?
Hitbox. Oh god.
He was 1 hammer hit away. Oh, no. Very unfortunate.
Yes, so... First Blood is... Apart from that Molder, I mean, Skull Woods, First Blood for the rest of the runners is gonna be a tricky part.
Looks like Mystic is not dismayed. He is going back. Nails the Hera Pot. He has the bug net and bottles. I don't know why he doesn't just catch a fairy. But it is faster to not catch fairies than to catch fairies. It's just being revived by a fairy is faster than dying.
I just love how Helmasaur just glitches the entire room.
So looks like Lynn is going after Eastern Palace after all said and done, where he will end up finding that hookshot. I believe he is making this decision primarily because he knows he can full clear it as long as it's not a boss he can't kill, because of what you were saying before about how the Igors are never Igors. But the boss will be logically locked by the bow. Plasma Kappa instead going into Pod.
Provided Lily Lane keeps his magic full, he can kill all the bosses except for Trinex.
And Argus. Well, I guess he will be able to kill Argus, though, because he'll find the hookshot here. He doesn't know that, though, I guess. So yeah, pretty good odds he's going to be able to kill this boss. Even without the hookshot. Just 2 bosses he wouldn't be able to kill. Or sometimes there's a line between a boss you can kill and a boss you want to fight, right? Like nobody killed Vitreous, even though it was all in logic and possible. All right, Mystic back into phase 2, down to 2 hearts, 1 heart. This is not looking good. Now.
Dead. Yeah. So the logic behind Vitreous like that, it's a similar story to having to do boomerang armors.
Yeah, exactly. Or even just a regular enemy like Gibdos can totally appear in kill rooms because while you never want to do it, you can kill them with just bombs. All right, Mystic has given up on his lamp sequence break, instead headed on to Front of Escape, where he will finally find that Moon Pearl.
And Fear Agent, dealing with the Moldarm shenanigans.
Yeah, he's super annoying, but it's not dangerous.
And he's forgetting that the item drops on the middle of the room.
Yeah, it's really hard to break that muscle memory of standing on top of the boss as it explodes.
Yeah, that's a thing in Enemizer because of the way Trinax goes around the room. Because that boss can die out of the bounds of the room, so the item is going to always drop in the middle.
Yeah. So it looks like Mystic opted to go to Dark Cross first. I don't understand why. Honestly, he just has no fear of dark rooms at all.
So Ling Ling is looking sad now.
Why is that?
Having done the correct gamble, already a boss kill under his belt, he's going to check whatever the hell is waiting for us at the back of this dungeon. Like, he's not gonna have to deal with the shenanigans that Mystic is dealing with.
Exactly, yeah. So Lin putting his Bombos medallion to fantastic use. Definitely a I win kind of button.
And look at that, Fear Agent just following behind.
Alright, one more heavy enemy room. Everything's pretty tame though. Sword Beam's very effective against everything in this room.
Moment of truth.
And our boss is Vanilla Armos. Probably not what Lin wanted to see, but I don't think he's too upset over it. Sword Beam's a pretty effective weapon against Armos.
Yeah, Sword Beam armor. It's not that bad.
And saved all his magic for the last one, so he can take out that last guy real quick and gets a boomerang for his trouble. It looks like Mystic has found that Moon Pearl. We have Dark World access for Mystic.
I'm pretty sure Mystic counted his items correctly because it didn't go to the Zelda cell.
It was a map in Zelda cell, so actually going to Dark Cross ended up saving him a little time. So I thought with the hookshot, Lin might go straight to Meyer, which would be my play. I love early Meyer when it's available, but instead going up to the item dense locations and Tower of Hera, which overall is probably like the higher percentage play for sure. I don't know, I've just been thinking Meyer the entire time. Ever since we saw that we have the right medallion and a fire source and the cane and the mitts and the flute, and we knew where the hookshot was, like, I wanted to see Meyer.
The problem with Meyer is it's only 2 items for a fairly lengthy dungeon.
Yeah, full clearing Meyer does take quite a while. And, you know, it's could be like a really terrible boss or something that we can't kill. What boss have we seen so far? We saw Armos, Moldorm, and Vitreous, and Helmasaur. So no doubles yet.
In paying a premium for that red potion.
Plasma Kappa trying to get to his Mothula fight here, but a Stalfos head just not getting out of his way. Ends up taking a few there.
Oh hey, Mirror Shield.
Yeah, Mystic found his on Stumpy, having already done Paradox Cave. Yeah, Plasma Kappa does have a blue potion. He's just trying to save it because he has no idea what this boss is coming up.
So, a fun thing about Armors. It takes less damage from Master Sword than Fighter Sword.
Yeah, this game is very well programmed. They definitely had Randomizer in mind when they were designing the damage tables.
I mean, even in vanilla, the Master Sword damages the Fighter Sword spin.
Well, the way damage works in Link to the Past is it's on a lookup table. So it's not like how it works in most games where this attack does this much damage and this enemy has this much armor and it does a calculation. Instead, every enemy just has a damage lookup table, and so it finds out what the source is and then it reads the number that's in that spot. And for some enemies, the numbers don't. They're not linear. They're not a linear progression like that.
Yeah, the sword damages are classified in they are set as 5 classes. So you got Fighter Sword, Master Sword, or Fighter Sword Spin, then Tempered or Master Sword Spin, then Gold Sword Tempered Spin, and then Gold Sword Spin, which only a handful of enemies actually are weak to.
2, I think. One of them, it doesn't matter, and the other one, it does less damage than a swipe. So Lin found an item in the front and opts to also do the Harapot here. Although he does not have to, he does have a fire source. It'll just be a map here in the, I think this is the compass chest. And he'll have to fight Helmasaur and hopefully get the second item there. Plasma Kappa dipping Ice Palace. Okay. Alright. I can get on board with this.
So, where was the Ice Rod?
Ice Rod was in the map chest in Eastern Palace. Or sorry, Hera. Lin just found it.
Ah. Okay, so now Link can kill all the bosses, barring some accident with magic management.
Lin looked a little confused at the start of that fight. Kept walking up to the mask and then walking away before switching to Hera. Looks like he's gonna switch to bombs for breaking this mask.
Gotta love those Bomberman strats.
And there goes the mask, and Lyn, of course, is going to have a much simpler time than Mystic did earlier. The sword, while not as fast as doing a bunch of hammer hits, is way safer and easier. Well, I say that, and then he walks all the way to the edge of the pit like that. Alright, down goes Helmasaur. But did Lyn get the second item? He did not. There is an item locked in that big chest. And if Lyn wants it, he has to go all the way through Tower Room.
Oh god. Grab the key out of the basement, and then climb the tower back up.
Yeah, I think Lyn's most likely to skip it without the mirror. Like, if he had the mirror, maybe he'd do it. Yeah, he's skipping it. But yeah, in this situation without the mirror, he'd have to either death warp or walk out of the vanilla big key chest, which is very, very slow. But you never know. It might be like boots in that big chest, right? And you have to do it without the mirror. Oh, Plasma Kappa and a little bit of a bind here. That Lionel making his life very difficult. Nicely done.
Look at Lyn's screen. There's like a ton of all the dead rocks have been replaced by guards.
Literally every guard in the game. Alright, Fear now in what's it called? Terra as well, also opting to do the Parabot. And we do have the correct medallion for Turtle Rock. So we don't know where Quake is, but we also don't care. It does nothing.
Yeah, red guards are relentless.
And this will be our first look at Hookshot Cave. There's the boots! Lyn finding boots in the bonkable chest of Hookshot Cave, ironically. Which will also give us access to the mirror that we saw a long, long time ago, just sitting on the library.
Oh my god, what a loop to get the red mail down.
Plasma Kappa without the hookshot being forced to do a bomb jump here. Although this one's one of the easier ones to set up once you learn it. God, I feel so bad for Mystic because he did have that hookshot advantage, you know?
Fear Agent's in a pinch.
Oh, he's fine. I've never seen Fear die before. Pretty sure it's impossible. See? Told ya. A Fart Agent with the Helmasaur kill.
Question is, does he dip the tower back?
Yeah, I imagine he's going to do the same thing as Lyn, but I would like to see him do it just so we can find out what's in that big chest. Yeah, he's skipping. Yeah, that just makes the most sense for this situation. So I'm having a little trouble following everybody on the restream so far. Plasma Kappa, I don't believe has found anything noteworthy in Ice Palace yet. But maybe he did and I just missed it.
Look at the tracker, that isn't anything.
Lyn going after a potion. So what is this play? Are we going Mire? Are we going Ice? Are we going TR?
I'm pretty sure that potion is in case of Trinex thing.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a backup magic refill for that fight. Plasma Kappa still not finding anything. Lyn getting his mirror off that library. Oh, Fear is a bow. What? Where was that? Do you remember your bow?
No.
Yeah, where was the bow? Spiral Cave? Lynn skipped Spiral Cave? Oh my god.
Oh.
Why do you do
Yeah.
this, Lynn? Why do you do this?
Okay, that is big.
That's a huge fine for Fear Agent. Luckily, there are 2 bows in the game. It is possible that there's just another bow on the way, and Lynn's gonna be fine. But yeah, that's huge for Fear Agent. This is gonna be go mode for him then.
Yeah.
Yeah, he finds boots here in Hookshot Cave, which leads to his mirror. And that's all he needs to finish the game. Spiral Cave paying off dividends for Fear Agent. Lynn making his way into Swamp Palace, and all we can hope for him is that there is a bow, because he's not going back for Spiral Cave anytime soon. Right now, he can full clear Ice, Mire, and Swamp. Just a heart container in that first chest. Fear gets his boots, just clearing out Hookshot Cave before he leaves. And Fear Agent is essentially in go mode. Looks like he's going to do Spiral or Super Bunny as well. There's still lots of items he'd like to have for finishing this game, primarily a Tempered Sword. And we have a Vanilla Cold Stare in Ice Palace. Definitely not the enemy that Kappa wanted to see, but he shouldn't have too much trouble. Not sure why he's not switching to Fire Rod, though. That would be a lot faster.
I mean, this is basically a little bit better than the low percent fight.
There he goes. He switches to Fire Rod now. He doesn't have like a ton of magic, but you can kill at least like 1 or 2 puffs with the Fire Rod. And then you have a lot less to deal with. Alright, Fear Agent remembers the mirror. He's headed back there now. I was a little worried he forgot about it when I saw him doing those extra checks, but he was just being thorough, just in case of Tempered. Alright, now we should see Fear go mode from here on out. Just go straight to the Crystal Dungeons and beeline it to the boss. I imagine he'll probably check some stuff on the way, just in case of Tempered, but I doubt he's going to go very far out of his way looking for that. Plasma Kappa unfortunately did not find anything in Ice Palace. Currently being punished by this lack of hookshot, which you can only get by going to Eastern Palace, which like you don't really want to do it. Like it's not a fun place to go. It looks like he's going there now, though, so that this is Plasma Kappa back on track towards getting his own go mode. Mystic, unfortunately, has been having a little bit of a hard time this seed, all starting with that late Moon Pearl and the deaths to Helmasaur at the top of Hera. Oh, and there's our Trinex.
He cleared all the water.
It's kind of a molten Trinex, right? Doesn't it look like he just came out of a volcano or something?
I mean, that's why the water is drained.
It evaporated. Unfortunately, Lynn running out of magic there is going to have to burn his potion. Mystic getting picked up by a Wall Master, very unfortunate.
Okay, I have to reload this thing on my end.
Do what you gotta do, man. I'm here.
Yeah, my internet's not cooperating today.
Oh, getting bit by Trinex a little bit was Lynn, but he does manage to get all 5 hammer hits in. Down goes Trinex. But does he drop a bow? No, he does not. Feels bad, man. So it's a very weird situation. So Fear has a definitive lead unless Lynn finds a bow. And then Lynn takes the lead. And there are 2 bows. We have no idea where the other one is. It's very possible that Lynn just finds it on the way somewhere.
Did Fear Agent forget to turn the switch?
I think he did. Okay, well this is good for Lynn. Fear taking a death in Mire.
God.
Unfortunately, very bad for Fear Agent. Did Mystic get Mothula, or is he abandoning? Full magic and heart, so I think he killed Mothula. Not sure. I did miss it with all the action happening on Lynn and Fear's screen. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Mystic has been having a harder time this seed, both with like the enemies themselves and also with a little bit of the routing. But that's kind of the fun part of Enemizer, right? Like being able to reward players for their preparedness in situations they can't possibly foresee.
That's what happens in Enemizer. It's like dark rooms are something that you shouldn't really be trying to go through.
It's weird because like I totally agree. I think dark rooms are typically the wrong call in Enemizer, especially early when you don't have tons of hearts or weapons. But every dark room that Mystic did actually kind of paid out. Like doing the Eastern dark rooms got him the hookshot early. Doing Dark Cross before the front of escape got him to skip Zelda's cell. It's just the execution on top of that, and then the routing ended up not being enough for that to be a difference maker.
So Plasma Kappa took damage and lost his sword beams.
Yeah, very unfortunate, especially when you're on Master Sword. Looks like Mystic is going towards Ice Palace here, which unfortunately will be empty. But yet another crystal he'll be able to grab. I believe Lynn did skip left side swamp, right?
I don't remember seeing it.
I'm pretty sure he did. It's kind of his MO. Like, if you're skipping Spiral Cave, you're probably like the kind of person who also skips left side swamp.
And that Spiral Cave skip is gonna bite.
Like, eventually he gets to the point where, like, going to Turtle Rock seems like a good idea, right? And maybe he does Spiral Cave before making that commitment. Or maybe he just does Turtle Rock and the other bows in there. But we know it's not going to be in ice. I guess it could be on the boss of Pod. Oh, he can't get to the ball spot. Never mind, I'm stupid. Stir.
Yeah, but it is hard ball locked.
And there is our first Argus here in Misery Mire. Kind of an awkward place to fight him because you can't stand up on the top without taking damage. And Argus likes to corner you. So like you have to stand all the way as far away from as you can to avoid damage.
I mean, Argus cornering you is a matter of you not paying attention to how many times he moves before he spins.
Well, I mean, because the room's so diminished, if he stands low enough and centered enough, you actually can't avoid the spin without standing in the slime. Where, like, if you had the whole room to work with, you just go to the top corner instead of the bottom corner. Alright, Fear Agent takes down Argus slash Vitreous, whatever you choose to call it, for his 4th crystal.
Oh boy, Mystic took a death trying the Ice Pilot's bomb jump.
Yeah, very unfortunate. I mean, this seed though, like, it's a good example of how important execution is in racing rando. Like Mystic's like early game, while it wasn't like the highest % chance to be a successful route, actually did pay off with like the early hookshot and stuff. But the deaths and the less efficient plays end up losing way more time than he saved by getting that early hookshot.
Yeah, Enemizer does that thing where it just completely lopsides the game difficulty. So like, stuff that you don't think about suddenly becomes hard, and rooms that you normally worry about no longer matter.
Yeah, exactly. Plasma Kappa finding his Ice Rod up here in Tower of Hera. Are we doing Herapot? Yeah, everybody does Herapot now. Except when I do Herapot, and then it's obviously like progression in the big chest. I don't know, just lately Herapot's burned me like every time I've done it.
I mean, the big chest could have the other bowl.
Yeah, very
For all
possible.
we know.
That wouldn't be too helpful to Lynn, unfortunately, because he ain't going back there anytime soon either.
I wonder if that Spiral Cave was a mistrack or just doesn't want to go back there.
I think it's pretty sure he skipped it on purpose. Like, it was just the way everything lined up. Like, he wanted to go to Hera, but and he wanted to go to he wanted the option to go to TR. And to do Spiral Cave in that route, you have to go through Spiral Cave and then reclimb Paradox because he didn't have the mirror yet. So I think he was just opting to leave TR as an option rather than choosing to do Spiral Cave. And then he ends up finding the boots, so like he skips both. Very nice Argus fight. That was way faster than Fear Agent's fight. Oh, he even gets the quick kill with Master Sword Ice Rod. I love it. Just creating little bit of time saves, little time saves over Fear Agent. And Lynn maintains that crystal lead at 5 to Fear's 4. Plasma Kappa not too far behind, just picked up his 4th from Helmasaur. And like everyone before him, opting not to go back in for the big chest. Makes a ton of sense. but does he skip Spiral Cave?
Oh no, Mystic.
Oh my god, it's Plasma Kappa's skipping Spiral Cave.
Oh boy. Getting chased after. If at least he took that as a sign that he shouldn't go here, he should go to Spiral Cave first.
Yeah, Fear Agent, the only one of our runners who thought Spiral Cave was a good idea.
I think people memed a bit too hard on Bootless Spiral Cave.
Yeah, I don't know if it being bootsless was really their main concern. I think it was more just the way the routing lined up. Spiral Cave was gross because you had to reclimb Paradox if you wanted to do TR. And it's just weird, like everybody who does this, they end up not doing TR anyway. Like for Mystic, when Mystic skipped it, he didn't even have Moon Pearl yet. So for him to do Spiral Cave, he had to walk back from Hera to the east for nothing but Spiral Cave. Which I guess doesn't make sense because he didn't have Moon Pearl. Yeah, he should have done that actually, since he didn't have Moon Pearl.
Oh no, Lily is doing Desert. Or at least clear the front.
Well, this might be the play for Lyn. That's one of the locations we don't have any information on. There might be a bow there.
Because the lead on crystal count is shrinking.
Yeah, Fear Agent picking up his 5th crystal, tying it up with Lyn here. And Fear just has Pod and Ice Palace left. Plasma Kappa does find his boots in Hookshot Cave and immediately save and quits to go get that mirror. Unfortunately, no bow to speak of.
Oh god. Spiral Cave doing the damage. Yes, it's 277 Ganon open.
Yeah, the only weird settings we have are just the enemy shuffle and the full boss shuffle. Which has not actually been too impactful. I don't think we've ever run into a boss we couldn't kill at the time. The only one of note was Vitreous and Thievestown, which nobody wanted to do. Pendant Vitreous with nothing but the hammer? No thanks.
Oh, I see, because it's a pendant dungeon.
I doubt they'd do it even if it was a crystal at the time. It was a very, very slow fight if you opted to do it then. And because you don't have to go get the maiden in the southern part of the dungeon, it's not a big risk. You only lose a little bit for having to come back later. Plasma Kappa picking up his mirror. Just a bow for go mode. Same for Lyn, looking everywhere to find it. He's not going to find it in ice though.
Yeah, at this point we can say Fear Agent has the lead.
I mean, you say that, and
Except...
then he forgets to grab a small key. Come on, Fear. I expect more from you.
Yeah, that happens.
Down to 2 hearts in this dungeon. I believe he does have a potion if he gets into trouble. He does, yeah.
At least there isn't a fire bar to worry about in this room.
Yeah, Mystic unfortunately having some trouble here in Mire. That's the second time I've seen him go through Mire 2 there. Yeah, the real story of the seed is the bow in Spiral Cave and the hookshot in Eastern Palace locking it. Well, I guess the hookshot didn't lock the bow. It was just one of the ways to get to it. No, wait. No, the hookshot did lock the bow, right?
Yeah, it did, because the boots
Yeah,
were
'cause the
in a
mirror
hookshot
was-
cave.
Yeah, the mirror was locked by the hookshot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the main reason like why Plasma Kappa is lagging behind Lin and Fear, is because he waited longer to go to Eastern to get the hookshot, and the bow is the reason why Fear is so far ahead of our other runners, is because he opted to do Spiral Cave. Poor Mystic's just trying to stay alive.
Yeah, he already took a death on some other dungeons. His survival rate today is just not good.
It is one of the more aggressive Enemizers that I've seen. I've definitely seen worse though, like dungeons where there's just spike rollers in every room. Like all of the many enemy rooms are just chock full of red guards. But it's not like Dead Rocks and Ropas are much safer.
I think we're gonna get a Pyramid Fairy check. Not from Fear Agent, but from Lin Lin.
Yeah, I think that's likely. Like, he's running out of good places to go. I can't recall if he's done Pyramid and Catfish, but if he hasn't, then that's probably what he does next, is Pyramid Fairy into Catfish. He also has, like, the Back of Thieves he could do. He could finish off Desert, turn in the Green Pendant, and Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock is probably high up on his list of places to go, but you have to factor in the climb up the mountain that it costs you.
Yeah, it's the options are not really that good. Nobody checked her big chest.
Yeah, no one looked.
Everybody,
everybody went there prior to finding the mirror. So at the time, like, to get it, you'd have to get the big key and then Death Warp or walk back from the bottom. So everybody opted to do Harapot instead, and when they find out there's an item in the big chest, they're like, it's probably nothing. Which, honestly, it probably is nothing, and they're probably all fine. But it could be the second bow. So Lin doing the play you suggested, going after Pyramid Fairy. He's out of Crystal Dungeons and can full clear. Like, now he has to start doing Overworld and Pendants, unfortunately. Or Left Side Swap, I guess, is a thing. I don't know how many items there are.
It's gonna be a miracle if we find the second bow. Oh, we're getting a hover.
Fear is memeing on us.
And gets denied.
Yeah, that's one of the more difficult hovers because you have to do this 90-degree turn into the rail on a pixel perfect position, all while not messing up your hover. Lin, unfortunately not finding what he was looking for there in Pyramid Fairy. Looks like he's going to go after Dark Cross now, which we also know is just bombs. Have we seen higher tail of the powder this seed?
Nope.
Powder is always like a really nice item to have for Enemizer.
Yeah, it affects a lot of enemies. Yeah, so a nifty thing about the the mirror shield, it cannot be stolen. So once you get it, you have it for the rest of the game.
Lynn headed up to Catfish. I don't recall having seen this from any runner so far, but I might be wrong. And he's going to Graveyard Ledge anyway. Probably Catfish after, though.
So the chest Fear tried to hover to had a shovel.
Fun. Looks like he has to go to the back to find that big key. Alright, Graveyard
go
Ledge.
mode.
This Graveyard Ledge here is definitely new information, but just a hard container. And there's Fear's big key. He could just mirror and go to the boss now. But still on Master Sword Silverless, he's gonna keep checking some more on-the-way checks. Mystic's stocking up on some potions before his next dive. Plasma Kappa going after left side swamp, it looks like. I don't think we've seen that left side swamp.
Yeah, that's a thing. Because I'm a bad runner, like when I dip a dungeon, I always start full clear it.
Yeah, left side swamp is one of the most skipped locations in the game, just because of the time commitment for what you get out of it. Lynn did choose to skip this when he was here, and Fear skipped it because he was already in go mode. So this will be new information. This could be the bow. If this is the bow, Plasma Kappa takes the lead over Lynn, although he'll still be lagging behind Fear.
Gotta love how the enemies treat the water areas as well. You see that mimic skidding around? That's...
Lots of enemies don't function properly when there's water involved.
Oh look, that was a vanilla big key.
Fun! Now he gets to continue in the dungeon just a little bit further. Although my favorite are enemies that replace like bats and stuff, because bats are often, they start inside a collision tile, like a wall or something, and some enemies don't react very well when they're stuck in a wall. And Plasma Kappa finds the mushroom. Okay. Something new, I guess.
Oh, the fetch quests.
Yeah, this actually works out kind of well for his route because it looks like he's headed towards Pyramid Fairy as well. And if he continues that to Catfish, he can do the mushroom on the way. The agent finds our second Moldorm here in Palace of Darkness. I think that's
a very hot caller.
That's our first doubled enemy, right? Our double boss.
Yeah, first repeat.
Yeah, there will be 3 total. Oh, Lynn's gonna try the hover. Okay. He's got it. And nice, very cool. That is what's the word? Really hard. Very awesome.
Oh man, we're gonna get so many fetch quests.
Alright, Fear has 7 crystals. Hey, how come you guys aren't spamming numbers without us saying anything? Everybody was watching Lynn with the hover. Alright guys, we got 7 crystals. Fear Agent is going to Ganon's Tower. in Gaines Tower, there are 22 item locations, one of which will have the big key that he needs to finish this game. If you'd like to guess 1 through 22, your favorite number for where that big key will be, and we'll follow your agent through his Gaines Tower trip. Quick answer to a question in chat. The big bomb is unlocked by collecting the 5 and 6 crystals. In Randomizer, they are colored red on your map and in your inventory. You can also talk to the Bob Shop vendor, and he will tell you explicitly which dungeons those are. Mystic takes out Vanilla Armos, getting his 3rd crystal. Lynn hoping for a bow here in Pod, but unfortunately does not find it. Plasma Cat headed up to Mushroom and Catfish.
So, Koi, what's your guess for the big key location?
I don't like to guess. Everybody always asks me. I don't like to guess. Because if I guess right, then everyone's like, oh, Koi had inside information. If I guess wrong, then everybody's like, Koi, why do you hate the runners so much?
Let's go with 13. So, Bow was found in Spiral Cave.
Yeah, real story of the seed.
Yeah. Oh, there's Tempered.
Yeah, that's a fantastic find. Fear Agent opened several items, or checked several item locations on his trip to all the crystals, looking for a Tempered Sword, and it's just in the first one he looks in GT.
So, is that why it's called Hope Room?
Well, I mean, it's one of the reasons. I think the other one is that if the big key is there, you hope the big key is there. Alright, Plasma Kappa going after his mushroom check. This will be our first look at this. He found that mushroom locked behind left side swamp, which everybody else skipped out on. Oh, Lynn getting clipped into the terrain there, and it accidentally jumps down a level.
Yeah, that is not fun when it happens.
Not sure why he saved and quit, though, if he was just going to come right back. Maybe just wanted the hearts. Fortunately, Plasma Kappa did not find a bow from his mushroom turn-in. And it remains a mystery where this is, but probably TR or GT.
Yeah, if Fear Agent digs up silvers from here, it's game over for the rest of them.
Yeah, he has a pretty large lead at this time anyway. Like, even if they went straight to the bow now, it would not be enough. Lynn's actually on Death Mountain, could opt to do Spiral Cave, but again, in a very similar way as before, it's super out of the way to go to Spiral Cave when you want to do TR. I can't imagine he's going to do Spiral Cave and then climb Paradox all over again to go to TR. And there's silvers in GT. Oh no.
And Fear just digging up all the nice things to have from here.
Alright, that confirms it. The only accessible bow for Lynn and Plasma Kappa is in Spiral Cave, which they both skipped. And it's really unfortunate, but it's very unlikely that they're going to go to that location anytime soon. Like, Lynn might do it after TR, I guess. But we're going to see a full clear TR before we see Spiral Cave, at least. Looks like Mystic did the potion camera unlock, but it wasn't Mimics. Just forgetting for a second that there couldn't be Mimics in that room.
Landmolus.
Well, Fear's Lambo fight not off to a good start. Shoots the arrow in the wrong direction. It's actually really challenging to do this on ice. So not to make fun of him or anything. But also a little bit to make fun of him.
Yeah, he's getting bodied by the worms. Yeah, there we go.
Nice job.
So, Vanilla Big Key, is that a 13?
Vanilla Big Key is the center of those 3 chests. I don't know what number that was.
Okay, that's saying 15.
Oh, I wasn't counting. I never count. We can count. He started in Hope Room, so it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay, let me dig up, see who won that. And the winner for today's Big Key guessing game is Alastair 057. Congrats, sir! You won a lifetime supply of randomized seeds.
GG. And with that, Big Key Fear Agent headed up the gauntlet of Ganon's Tower, which one of the heaviest execution areas in the game. And when you enemize it, it becomes so much more difficult.
I mean, the actual gauntlet part is extra easy because everything in there dies to a sword. Including what was supposed to be the behemoths.
I mean, you say that, but many helmets don't exactly just die to a sword real easy. Like, you gotta stun them all first. There you go.
You have to get creative.
Yeah, the mini Moldorms with the conveyor belts, not fun. Nicely done. Just mini Helmas and mini Moldorms all the way down.
Nice to know some things never change. Like the Enemizer algorithm is still biased as all hell toward this easy to kill enemies.
Fear Agent got the double heal from hookshotting that heart. Nice. Like, often you see people make the vanilla Enemizer layer, or the vanilla gauntlet, like with the Zazax and the Stalfus and everything. They make it look so easy, right? And it's because they've done it with those same enemies thousands of times, and you change what the enemies are, and it's suddenly a brand new experience.
Like, he probably got bodied more than he wanted to on those rooms.
And we have Mothula in Lambo 2's room. This is our first Mothula. Very easy.
Yeah, Mothula is a pushover outside of that, his usual place.
Fear Agent remembering that Hinoxes die to a single bomb. Takes him out no problem. He could have just switched to the silvers, though. I think that would have been probably better over the long run.
I don't know why he isn't using bombos.
Well, most of the time, like, Bombus is like the easy option, but it's rarely the fast option. I think certain enemy layouts, it absolutely could be the fast option too, though. You're right.
Okay, this room was real nice, because usually you got a spike bomb there.
Yeah, sometimes that enemy is really annoying. Although even worse than the big spike is like the spark, like the little pink bubble that walks around. There he is. That's a spark in the middle.
He got the exact wrong distance to stuck the bomb in the wall. And oh look!
Our second cold stare. This is probably one of the least fun options for this round. I sure hope Fear still has a blue potion, because he's spending all his magic. He's gonna want that for Ganon. Alright, he does have a blue potion. Alright, Lyn takes down Pendant Trinex. No bow to be found, though, unfortunately. Now, mirror induced Spiral Cave, please?
I love how Cold Stare just breaks the palette on everything.
Oh, Lyn. Lyn, what are you doing? Oh, Lyn.
That's an Ether Tablet check.
Yeah, he might do Hair Big Chest, too. Just because it's right here. And I'm also not sure if he's done Spike Cave.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
Yeah, he's going Hair Big Chest. Oh, very unfortunate.
I mean,
Down goes Agate's
the good thing with that vanilla BK GT is that everyone is gonna get half magic, silvers, and maybe tempered.
Yeah, I think you're right. Everyone's gonna probably go down the left side like that and find all the things Fear found. You can go down the right side, but I think I'm the only person who ever does that.
Yeah, there's a few nasty rooms to get through there.
It's never full right, you guys. Except for those times it is. You're chucking his potion. He needs it for the magic specifically, but the hearts are a welcome sight. Into phase 2 now. Not the mirror. There you go. Mystic finding his booty boots.
And there we are, phase 3. The Timber Tantrum.
Silver arrows get put to work. 4 will do it. There's 1. Misses the torch glitch, but who cares when you have silvers? 2 more. Fear lost track of where he was gonna go. There we go. 4 silver arrows. Down goes the big pig.
And that is GG for Fear Agent.
Fear Agent takes first place on the restream, and overall he is first place as well with a time of 1:32:24. GG.
We made some jokes at his expense before this thing started, but oh god, this seat.
GG Fart Agent.
Did they still skip out on the Spiral Cave?
Yep, definitely looks that way. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, that looks like a mistrack at this point. And GG to you, sir. Fear Agent, join us in the comm booth.
Hey, thanks for the GGs.
So you actually have a pretty fantastic lead over both Lyn and Plasma Kappa. Any guesses as to what item is tripping them up?
Let me think about this. So the boots were up on Death Mountain. The mitts were in Hype Cave. Fire Rod, maybe?
It is the bow.
Where was the bow? I was thinking about that
Spiral
one.
Cave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, both Lynn and Plasma Kappa were not interested in reclimbing Paradox just to have access to TR. So they skip Spiral Cave and go straight to the Dark World. And then they find the boots, of course, and don't go into TR anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go far into Turtle Rock, but I was probably gonna do the first 4 chests in Turtle Rock looking for the boots. But then I found them. The only thing I felt really good about my route. The only thing I wasn't crazy about was I went searching for swords a little too hard.
Yeah, I definitely took note of that. Like you were opening pretty much everything that could be considered like on the way. Like after you found the big key and pod, you went down to the Rupee basement.
Yeah, I definitely regret that one. There was another one I think I did that I was like, it was early on, but I wasn't in go mode yet. Though I feel like my route was pretty good. The only thing I felt like was kind of dumb was going back to do Dark Cross after getting the lamp. I should have just left that there.
Yeah, maybe. I can definitely see that though. Like, dark rooms are typically like a big point of contention in Enemizer seeds.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I say that, and then Mystic, our 4-3 stream runner, actually did like every dark room he possibly could before finding the lamp.
I'm basically never doing dark rooms in Enemizer unless I have to, especially with the loadout that we had. Like I was on like 7 hearts, I feel like forever.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even know what I finished with. I don't even know if I got to 10.
For Mystic, like the dark rooms kind of paid off. Like it got him to the hook shot like really quickly, and he could have killed the boss of Eastern with it just being Armos. It would have just been like really gross because of the loadout. He ended up taking quite a few deaths through dungeons and on the overworld and such that put him farther behind.
Yeah, the big tripping point for Mystic was getting to Helma on top of Hera, swordless.
Yeah, and he was being a little stubborn, refusing to quit. Kept Hera potting back up and fighting Helma. I think he fought him 3 times, maybe twice.
Oh, yeah, that's not an easy fight.
No, it's not. It's not swordless anyway.
I mean, even with a sword, it's still
swordless
tough.
And bowless. So like the only way he had to deal damage in phase 2 was to hammer him without a sword.
Yeah.
While he's walking over a pit. And he's doing a whole heart of damage to your like 6 total hearts.
Yeah. My Meyer was pretty bad. I think in retrospect, I probably should have saved that for last. I was thinking like Meyer's not that big of a deal in Enemizer usually, and then it was.
Yeah, I think like Meyer's one of the few places where like you typically route it to where you do take damage, like with the spike room. And then to add the Enemizer on top of that when you don't have a ton of hearts to work with.
Yeah, in retrospect, I would have saved that for last instead of pod.
That was just going to too impactful or anything. Like most people have like some execution flubs. That's pretty normal for Enemizer.
Yeah, I mean, because you're so used to doing a certain thing, and then everything gets flipped on its head. So after Myers, like I'm definitely getting potions because not only because in case I die, but if I got to the back of Meyer and I needed magic, I was pretty SOL. So
yeah, I think the gauntlet in GT is probably like the biggest place to see the difference of what Enemizer makes, because like the enemies that you had going up the gauntlet, they were pretty tame, right? Like it was all
sure.
Popos and Helmas and mini Moldorms. Like those are easy enemies to deal with at all times, but your gauntlet looks so much worse than if it was just vanilla red Stalfos and stuff.
Right. It's
like even though those are harder enemies.
Yeah, totally.
I think that's one of the cool things about Enemizer is it really rewards, and I said this earlier, but it really rewards players for their preparedness in a situation they can't be prepared for.
It's that ability to improvise.
Not gonna lie, first place feels good. I haven't been racing
Yeah.
as much, so I'll definitely take a first place.
Yeah, GG's,
This is going out to all those fantasy league haters who haven't drafted me in the top like 6 or 7 rounds. Representing, showing you what's up.
There's a
Yes,
fantasy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of so the league is running. Sir Linkalock put together a fantasy like scoring system, and then people can take that and do leagues. And I know of at least 4 leagues that are going where you draft players like similar to fantasy football. And all the big name players are going in the round ones, the Andes, the Dantes, the Jets, right? But
Yeah.
Fear Agent's not going until like 5, 6, 7, 8 round. Like what's up, man? First place. People forget. People forget Fear Agent can represent.
Fear Agent, Tom Brady was a 7th round draft pick. Don't you forget.
That's right.
I think that's right. I haven't watched football.
I think it was a 6th round, but it's basically the same thing. Yeah, people overlooked him. People are overlooking Fear Agent, man. First place in the daily, and I haven't been racing much, so I even almost went into entrances that are don't have anything in them just because all I've been playing is cross keys. That's a muscle memory that I have to get rid of before the league starts on Monday.
So, to point out something unfortunate, Plasma Kappa decided to Deep Turtle Rock instead of going to Spiral Cave.
Yeah, Lynn did the same thing when he came back to the mountain. Like, he has a pretty good opportunity to do Spiral after TR. He can just mirror and drop down. But I think he's probably going to do the same thing that Lynn did and head over to Hera and Ether Tablet first. But hopefully he won't continue to skip it afterwards. Like, having to reclimb Paradox Cave just to check Spiral, it feels really bad. Like, it's not an uncommon skip that they did to not do that.
Yeah, the hate for Spiral Cave is real, and it's not something I can kind of get behind it, but it's such an isolated check that if you leave it, it's a terrible place to go back to. And we know they're not going to get a bow anywhere else because I found that second one in.
Yeah. We held out hope for a while, but you did find it. They could find a sword or something, I guess. Although I think we've now seen everything that they could do. The other sword must be like right side GT.
It's gonna be a sad last location for the ball for these runners.
Yeah, Lynn especially, who is now going back to Thieves Town, it looks like. For that fun Vitreous fight.
That everyone noped out in the beginning of the game.
I went for it. I attempted it.
Yeah, but it was wrong. You shouldn't have done that. Don't be proud of that, Fear.
I knew I wasn't going to beat him, but I wanted
the problem with that particular Vitreous fight was like even if you could do it and you could kill him, like it was gonna be so slow.
Yeah, I wasn't really. Yeah, I wasn't like really. I just went up there and gave him some wax, so it wasn't like a true attempt at it.
I think we probably would have seen more serious attempts at it if it was a crystal instead of a pendant.
Oh yeah,
but,
for sure. Yeah.
I think even in that situation with that equipment loadout, even if it's a crystal, you're probably better off just leaving and coming back.
Yeah, I mean, there was 3 items I want to say in the front of East Town, so I didn't feel any obligation to like attempt to kill him or even go to the back at that point. All right, well, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for the restream and the comms. I'm going to have to watch this one back. And remember, draft Fear Agent higher than round 7. Going to represent in the league. And to all the haters that don't draft me,
I think you're a value pick, though, right? Like that's the way I look at it. I can hold off on picking you because everybody underestimates you.
Yeah, I guess so, but I'm going to take that as disrespect. All right, thanks, guys. That was fun. See ya.
See ya, Fear.
See ya.
GG. Yeah, Plasma Kappa doing a Spike Cave instead of going back over to Spiral. I think this means he's not going to go to Spiral. He could, like walk out of Spiral Cave, I guess. Now he's saving and quitting. It pretty much confirms it's going to be, like, literal last location for both Fear and, or for both Plasma Kappa and Lyn.
There's Mystic as well.
Yeah, Mystic also skipped out on Spiral Cave when he had the opportunity.
So, yeah, this is... Okay, this has become an oops all dungeons for Lyn and Lyn.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure if he's checked Ped. He might go Ped now. Yeah, it looks like Ped.
I'm pretty sure at this point he just does a blind poll.
I think he knows it's not Ped, right? If he's looking at the finish times, he knows that Fear finished, like 12 minutes ago. He's not worried about it being Ped. He's just doing it for the sake of doing it. Not everybody looks at the finish time, so...
Yeah, my big question is, did they really skip that check, or did they mistrack it?
I think it's very, very likely they skipped it on purpose. Just 20 rupees on the pedestal for Lyn. I think he's out of checks now, right? Like he has to go to Spiral Cave. No, he's got something else. Graveyard Ledge, maybe?
Oh god, I can't even think of where he has left.
Oh, there's still an item in Thieves Town? Yeah. Okay, this is Thieves
Yeah,
Town.
they didn't leave the back. Oh man. So yeah, this is getting closer and closer to a handle.
Oh, that's right, he did do Graveyard Ledge. I remember that now.
And look at those blinking sprites.
Looks like Plasma left an item behind in Meyer. He's going back for that one.
So I'm wondering, doesn't many of those checks take more time than actually going to Spiral Cave?
Oh my god, that Hellway though. That's like all fire bars. I'm sorry, what did you say?
These random checks they're doing right now, don't they take more time than actually going back to Spiral Cave?
Yeah, in hindsight, it makes sense. But like, I feel like when you're skipping Spiral Cave, you're also expecting to not have to do all these either, right?
Because there's the thing.
And now Spiral
Mail.
Cave. Spiral Cave now means walking back up the mountain. So it's in addition to the time it takes to check Spiral Cave, it's another 90 seconds just to get up there.
Oh yeah, there's that. But Red Mail is also there.
Mystic takes down Vanilla Cold Stare, getting his 5th crystal. Slowly making his way towards our other runners. I think both Lyn and Kappa will run out of checks completely, so they should stay ahead of Mystic, even if they last location the bow. But Mystic can save a lot of time if he just goes to Spiral Cave right now.
The question now is, who bites the bullet first?
Plasma Kappa does not find what he's looking for, neither does Lyn, both of them having to leave their respective dungeons. And looks like Lyn has run out of checks completely, headed back to the mountain. This is Spiral Cave.
Yep, that is what last location looks like. And Plasma Kappa is, still has stuff left.
Yeah, I think he
Namely,
just has
Thieves Town.
Thieves Town.
Oh, look at Mystic.
Yeah, he's gonna walk out of Spiral Cave here. He needs to set up super speed with the boots or the sword, and then activate Burna, and he can get through this real fast. He doesn't have quite enough magic to make it all the way, but it should be enough to live. Oh, unless he misses that hook shot. Oh god! Alright, blue potion, I'll get it done.
Oh wow.
And there is
And
go mode for Lin.
1 hour 49 and some odd seconds. Oh god. That was nasty.
Mystic having a little of a mental error there. You're already in the Dark Brawl.
Oh boy.
And Lin just has to go back
Okay.
and fight the boss of Palace of Darkness, which, shoot, I have no idea what that was. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's Helm up top. Oh, the Palace of Darkness, that's Moldorm.
Oh, right, our second Moldorm, that's right.
A very hot colored Moldorm.
Mystic trying to set up the coffee break here. Unfortunately, standing a little too far off of the pegs. Doesn't get the iframes. Plasma Kappa still looking for that last item in this dungeon. Unfortunately, just 3 bombs. But does he kill the boss for pendant? For the pendant? No, he's leaving. Okay.
Mystic having a little bit of trouble with his menu boss over there.
Setting a parapot one more time so we can get this big chest. Oh, Plasma's going to the mountain.
Yeah, he seems to have run out of checks as well. Or did he just bail on Thieves Town?
He didn't kill the boss, which would only lock pedestal. He knew it wasn't an item. He's going Hera. Oh, gross. Mystic checking that just now, finding nothing there. And there goes Voldorm number 2 for Lin. Making 7 crystals for the day.
Alright, so the question is, does Lin do a either full side, or does he pull a Hope Room first and then full left?
Yeah, the sword is in Hope Room, and then the silvers were Random Room, with the big key being behind Ice Landmo. Mystic having a bit of an easier time this time around against Helmasaur at the top of Hera. Sword makes this so much simpler.
Yeah, he's getting his revenge. That upwards hammer hitbox is atrocious.
Yeah, it's really awkward to hit Helmasaur with the hammer. The common ways to do it are to like sneak into it diagonally from the left with your sword held out, or just walk into him on purpose and use the iframes to like stand directly on top of his face and hit the hammer. Neither of which were options that Mystic had when first time here.
Mystic has a hammer selected.
Alright, Plasma Kappa done in Tower of Hera. Are you going to Spiral Cave now, please? No, don't flute away! Oh my god.
He's doubling down on Thieves Town. Oh boy. At this rate, Mystic's...
Gosh. Oh, Mystic's doing Spiral Cave! Mystic's doing Spiral Cave!
Oh my god, this is just...
Yeah, this is enough! Mystic takes the lead over Plasma Kappa, despite being behind for so long.
A moment of pause.
Bumps the chest, okay. And
I don't know why. I don't know why Mystic is so angry when he hasn't completed neither of the 3 pendant dungeons.
Yeah, he's getting to skip a lot more stuff than Lyn and Plasma Kappa did. Kappa searching his inventory for something to help with this fight. He doesn't have anything though. Cane of Burna being his only like real option. He could do like Burna dashes, but with Master Sword, he'll run out of magic before everything dies. I'm not sure if the eyes do 3 or 2 hearts on Blue Mail.
It's 3.
Yeah, so he's like 1 hit from death. Very nicely done with the spins. And looks like Lyn is doing the Hope route. He got his Temper Sword and is now continuing down full left where he will find silvers and then the big key.
Oh boy.
Assuming he can get through this room. There we go.
That's a nice health refill. Like, the enemy is 2 hearts away from having double health of what Fear Agent had.
Yeah, this scene just really highlights the danger it comes to skipping something that's slightly out of the way. Like it wasn't a bad call really for Lyn or Plasma Kappa to skip that chest. Like it was a slow chest compared to the other things they had available. But you know, every time you skip something, maybe you're skipping something good. And if it takes you too long to get back there, this is what happens. Plasma Kappa now going after Pedestal. There's silvers for Lyn.
Yeah, he's doing a bind pull as well. And you've been had. Enjoy your change from the couch.
Alright, I think Kappa's out of checks. Like, he only has Spiral Cave left, right? Surely. Where are you going? What's at 7? What's at 5? Did he forget about it? He might have forgot about it.
That's the thing. That's why I'm mentioning the missed track. Usually,
Yeah, it's
Spiral
certainly
Cave is
possible.
usually Spiral Cave is heavily associated with Paradox Cave.
I'm sure he skipped it on purpose the first time, but like his subsequent skips of it, maybe just because he forgot about it.
Well, this is bad.
Oh, Lynn's so close to getting the 0 cycle. Yeah, there is a reason I skipped Spiral. Spiral is just slow. That's all it is. Like at the time, they had lots of other places they could go that were much more efficient checks. Spiral Cave represented one single item location that's probably just 20 rupees that takes like 4 times longer than everything else. That's why they skipped it.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that if I dip a pendant dungeon, I'm going to full clear it, regardless of the time loss that it entails.
Yeah, being more thorough with your routing is definitely a way to avoid a situation like this. The thing is, like, competition is very, very severe. Like, all these players, Plasma, Lin, and Fear Agent, they're all very good runners. And it's difficult to come out on top consistently unless you're willing to make plays like skipping Spiral Cave. Like, if you always play thoroughly, like, you're probably guaranteed a decent spot, but you probably don't get first place very often.
The time gets consistent, but I'm like, I take 2 hours to do an all dungeons. And that's it. My time is rarely ever going below that, and it's usually 2 hours 30 or 2 hours 20. And there's that mode army in Roomba mode.
Alright, Mystic headed to Ganon's Tower. Looks like Plasma Cap has figured it out. He's headed over to Spiral Cave.
I'm gonna have to ask them, why did they like quadruple down in skipping Spiral Cave?
Because it was always the worst. Like, sometimes it becomes that mindset, right, where like you choose to skip one thing, right? And then when you have the opportunity to check it later, you say to yourself, well, I could check it now, but if that's the answer, I lost anyway, because somebody else didn't skip it. So you decide to continue gambling on it not being anything, because that way you don't automatically lose. Plasma Kappa finds his bow in Spiral Cave finally, and at 2:02, all 4 of our runners are now in go mode.
That Popo giving Lin and Lin some trouble.
Yeah.
I never expected people to get so messed up by this enemy layout.
Yeah, it's really awkward to have to do these rooms that you put so much practice into with completely different enemies. And checking chests on the way just for the sake of checking chests on the way. Probably maybe like Saint Card or a Clutch Full Heal or something would have been nice. A bottle with something in it would be cool.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen the powder. God knows where that is.
Yeah, I think we have to assume everything we haven't seen is just in compass room.
And the big...
Don't know what is Lynn doing.
Oh yeah, he's gonna hover that.
Oh, he wanted to hover it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And there's a problem with that, though.
Yeah,
You have to break the shell first.
Oh. So it seems weird there, Lynn eating the fairy instead of just waiting for the fairy to revive him. He does this because if you get revived by a fairy when you die during a fall, the game breaks a little bit.
And that's why you have to break the shell.
Lynn getting the bad news. Hover back. Can you break it from over here? He's gonna try.
Yeah, he did it.
Nice. That's funny.
So yeah, welcome the new stair boss.
I'd never seen that before. That's actually really funny. Alright, Plasma Kappa takes down Moldorm. He's got 7 crystals now.
I think the first time I've seen that mentioned was in the 2018 Fall Tournament. A match between Wheeler J. Bradley and I think it was Andy. And you know Andy, he likes to go over that. And they mentioned that you had to break the shell before it would allow you through.
Down goes Agatu for Lynn. So a pretty decent amount of spacing between our runners here. Lynn, the climb of GT ahead of Mystic. Mystic, the basement of GT ahead of Kappa.
So that's more than half an hour difference.
What? Half an hour?
Yep.
No, the
basement's already gone.
Oh yeah, between Fear, yeah. I thought you meant between these 3.
Oh god, that would be even worse.
Like, Kappa's probably like anywhere between like 10 and 15 minutes away from finishing the game from this point.
Yeah, you can feel the amount of tilting in it.
Yeah, Lynn misses the second 1 cycle there. Has to go through this again, but down to half a heart. Blue Potion, saving the day. Mystic not taking any chances on the gauntlet. Opts for the refill room. And that should do it. Wait, one more. Come on, Ganon, stop teleporting. There you go. That should do it for phase 3. Lynn and Lynn on to phase 4 with silver arrows. Is one true witness. Misses Torch Glitch, but who cares? Because we got silvers.
Now the nice thing here is all the runners are gonna have silvers for this.
Yeah, everybody making the right call to do the hope route through Ganon Star, getting sword and silvers. And with that, Lynn takes 2nd place on the restream. And as soon as I refresh, 10th place overall with a time of 2:07:59. So quite a few runners between him and Fear, who presumably did not skip out on the bow the entire scene. Feels bad, man.
And we are joined in the booth by Lynn and Lynn. GG.
Lynn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about what happened to you.
Amen. like doing that check without boots when you have the entirety of Dark Death Mountain open.
Yeah, no mirror
I'm
either.
doing that,
So
yeah, I'm
like-
doing that like 10 out of 10 times. I'm doing the same play 10 out of 10 times. I'm skipping Sparrow Cave. There's no way
Yeah.
I'm going to Sparrow Cave. You have like the entirety of Dark Death Mountain. You also have TR that is potentially full clearable as well. Like, am I going to Sparrow Cave without boots? Nah. To go back up again to open TR and to enter again. It's just
yeah, I think TR was the real kicker there, because like you like it's like 99% chance you have the option to go into TR at this point, and you have to enter from Paradox because you don't have the mirror. So like going to Spiral Cave and wanting to do TR, you have to reclimb Paradox, which is so slow. I totally understand why you skipped it. I wish you had gone back to it earlier than you did, but you know.
I mean, at this point, like, the thing is, I had such a good opener, a very good opener. I don't know if anybody had the same opener as I did, but like, my opener was just good, and I was actually, if the bow had been there, in my opinion, with the same route that I took, it was 115.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
Fear
really-
Agent.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Fear Agent just like that was the big difference. You were ahead in general checks, but because of that bow location, it just culminated in that oops out dungeon.
It's the thing. If I'm doing that check, the moment I'm up there and going back up, it's 115, 120.
Yeah, I think you like when the bow started making the difference in the routing, that you were like 2 crystals ahead of Fear, and then as you started full clearing things and he started go moding, that's when he overtook you. It would have been a very fast seed if there had just been a bow like literally anywhere else.
Because I've spent an hour and 10 minutes maybe looking for that bow. An hour, because it took me time to clear it. So let's say it took me an hour to look for that bow. I was bow for combo for an hour. Like, when I got the boots, like, there's no way I'm going to TR.
And it's so frustrating that it was the bow specifically too, because there's 2 of them. Surely there's one just in one of these dungeons.
Like, me farming the money out the bush crabs and getting the 300 in Link's house and going straight for Zoraria, like, and getting rewarded like this, like glove, hammer, flute. Like, what else can you ask for? And then, like, I skipped a few things, like try to optimize my route around Village Valkas as well. When I took the Smith in and then saved and quit and like everything. I didn't really want to go to Village Valkas, but then I found that sword in Hammerpex, and then the Fire is just sitting in Thieves Town with 3 items in the front. I'm just checking the boss for knowledge since it's full
Full boss
This is
shuffle.
full boss shuffle. Like, I like to know which boss are where, so I can basically like, try to figure out which ones I'm missing, which ones were double and everything. I didn't know about that cold stair shell, by the way, that I needed to break it. or
Yeah,
I'm
that was
stuck
new
in the
info
stairs.
for me. That was very funny. Yeah, Hugo was saying he saw that before in an old tournament where that happened to Andy when he hovered cold stare.
No, I think that had something to do with the shell. That's why I was trying to break it. I wasn't sure that it was gonna work, but I wanted to try.
Yeah, those large sprites, like, they required some extra shenanigans to properly work.
Yeah, I'm not sure like what exactly caused, like what the technical aspect of it is. I guess just it can't handle the large sprite and you ending the stair climb at the same time.
I guess. But it's the first time I was hovering Coulter in Enemizer. Like I hovered Hammer King. I hovered Vitreous as well, kind of hard as well. And Coulter was the last one I wanted to try.
And with that, Mystic takes down Ganon, finishing 3rd place on our restream. 11th place overall, right behind Lynn, with 2:13.37.
And we are joined in the booth by Mystic. GG and congrats on not doing Noob Style Dungeons.
Thank you, GG.
Yeah, you ended up with the better route compared to Lynn and Kappa here. Like they both full cleared the game looking for that bow in Spiral Cave. You made it there a little quicker, but you lost so much time to Enemizer being Enemizer.
I lost time to doing stupid things, trying to be brave.
When I saw that Vitreous in PS1, I was like, nope, not doing that.
Yeah.
Nope. it's a pendant. I'm not doing that.
And I'd like to just delete Ice Palace from the game. I'm more mad about the bow because I went by Spiral Cave twice.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So it was a lot different decision for you to go to Spiral Cave than it was for Lynn and Kappa because they didn't get up there to the mountain until they were, Mitz, Hookshot, Moon Pearl, and everything. But you went there before the Moon Pearl through your Eastern Palace Dark Rooms by getting that early Hookshot. Why didn't you go to Spiral Cave after you gave up on Helmasaur and Hera?
Because I just was like, oh, it's technically out of logic. I'll be back later. And then I came back later and went straight to the Dark World instead of doing Spiral Cave first when I didn't have a
Yeah, ended up being not too much of a difference maker, you not finding the bow, as it was for our other runners. But yeah, it would have been a little better if you had found it earlier.
It would have saved me some avoiding Ice Palace for the third time. But yeah, overall, kind of a rough seed Enemizer-wise.
Yeah, definitely.
The first room, the second room in Ice Palace, you like couldn't get through there without taking like 5 hearts of damage.
Yeah, it ended up being a powderless seed too. So like every time you saw an Age Fairy, there's nothing you can do about it.
But definitely a fun one to de-rust on because with League starting next week.
I'm not playing on week 1, but same.
But I also haven't played in like a month.
Yeah, another fun thing about this it was interesting seeing everyone get tripped by the gauntlet.
This the Helmasaur gauntlet.
Yeah, we were talking with Fear about that, how like the enemies that we actually saw in the Gauntlet this time around are generally considered easier to deal with than the enemies that are normally in the Gauntlet. But because they're not enemies you're used to being in the Gauntlet, it makes your Gauntlet so much sloppier, so much harder to deal with, because you're not expecting to have to fight mini Helmors and mini Moldorms in a room with conveyor belts and ice.
The thing is, like, in Enemizer, I tend to be very, conservative around my magic, because I know I can into them. Because you never know, like, what's in at Glenbolus, or if there's a big spike in the torch room. And if you don't have magic, then you're kind of screwed. You saw me pretty much going for the potion shop a lot of times. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I think you like having a potion with you at all times is actually very beneficial. You never know what's gonna happen, and actually is the thing as well. Like, especially when you don't have house magic. I mean, I did have house magic at the end, but it wasn't GT or whatever. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was like Random Room or something.
If you don't have house magic, like this time we had bombos, but like. If you don't have a bomb boost, only a fire rod, and like there's a lot of anti-fairies, and you end up getting a cold steer, you're just screwed. I just like having a magic refill.
Yeah, I kind of avoided potion shop longer than I should, and then I got ice and fire rod. I was like, okay, time to keep stocked up. Try and access somewhere. But That I had potions going into Ice Palace and to Hera and all that when I actually had bottles. It made a difference the first time I went in, but every time. And I still don't know what happened on my very first Ice Palace bomb jump. I went across and just kind of slid off the other side.
Yeah, wait. I can't see that. I just saw you dying as you were in the door frame. I was like, oh, the bomb jump went wrong.
Yeah. It goes wrong a lot. You do it in practice all the time, no issue, and you get into a race, and it's like, no, I don't want to work today. That sprite doesn't help.
And there it is, Plasma Kappa, 2 hours 19.
Plasma Kappa takes 4th on our restream and 12th overall. 219, 2-1. Send help.
GG, Plasma Kappa.
GG.
Somehow.
GG's.
Right.
Somehow.
I rolled out of control there.
Yeah, so my assumption here is that you skipped Spiral Cave the first time on purpose, right? Just like Lynn
course.
did.
Obviously.
Yeah, and then the second time because you forgot about it.
Of course.
Sounds familiar.
I knew I knew about Spiral Cave, but like I said, maybe if it, in my opinion, with my route, if it was there, it was a 120. That's why I didn't want to go.
I forgot that I would have been a prime suspect to explain the 132 if I had remembered.
And the fact that not a lot of people were done by then, and I was like, can't be there. Like, it just can't be there. A lot of people are gonna do that. Like,
Yeah, there are a lot of the things that would slow people down on this one, though. There were some low percent fights that were actually kind of tough on with where some of the bosses ended up.
I do not
Yeah,
use a map tracker.
That
Master
Helma
Sword
on top of Hera.
I had Master Sword pretty early, so there's that, I guess.
I also didn't like riding in Skull Woods, leaving, going to do hammer pegs, getting a sword, realizing, oh, I could have had this before going in.
Yeah, I came from south, so I had that sword going into Skullwoods.
Yeah, I just went right past it. I was like, just kept going up. And then getting another sword out of that was funny.
Yes. I did pod because the other 2 dungeons were scary. Avoided most stats. And I died anyway.
Yeah, the bow just ended up being like the biggest difference maker for finish times for sure. But I mean, like execution can't be understated. Like Mystic, you got to skip way more stuff than Lynn and Kappa, but they just had an easier time going through the seed. So like I just mentioned it because we were talking about it on the Rando Discord earlier. How commentators don't mention how big of a difference execution makes, and like we put a lot more emphasis on the more swingy aspects of rando racing, you know, finding that hook shot in Graveyard Ledge or whatever. But execution absolutely is very
garbage. I was still mad I died in Eastern Palace the first time through, going towards the back. Stupid Lynn. What's it called?
I was very scared in Ice Palace for my entire life.
Yeah. It usually is an Enemizer. Lots of rooms with too many sprites for Enemizer. Specifically that the crystals or the switch room in the beginning, and then also the room right before Cold Stare. Typically very dangerous.
Yep, and then I fall into vanilla Cold Stare. Oh, thanks, game.
Like anything else would have been easier.
Also not a fan of Lambos on ice.
It wasn't. I mean, we had silvers, so it wasn't that bad.
If you got lined up, it wasn't bad.
It took
I mean, I missed the last one. But
Fear took like 5 cycles to kill it.
I dropped in, got position like it was Armos typically, realized crap, it's Lambo, and couldn't get in position fast enough.
Oh yeah, like that's. I mean, I've been practicing a bit of an Enemizer, and then like I didn't forget this today that you have to go in the middle of the room and not stand on the boss to get your item prize.
Right.
Your
Yeah.
item prize. I didn't make the mistake today, so I'm proud of me.
Yeah. It's still my favorite mode, regardless of how ridiculous it gets. But I gotta go, so take care. Thanks for the commentary, guys. GG's, everyone.
Our pleasure.
GG's.
GG.
Which is that help.
Care.
Can only move in straight lines, remember?
All right, guys. I think that's gonna do it for us on the restream. A big thank you to all 4 of our runners: Lynn, Mystic, Plasma Kappa, and Fear Agent. I can't remember. Oh yeah, okay. Or also known as Owo, Bach, Send Help, and Fart Agent. You guys and your file names. But they all did a fantastic job for us. Make sure to follow their streams. !R in the chat for links to those. They are amazing runners, and I hope we continue to see them on the Speed Gaming Daily Series. I have been Koi commentating along with Hugo Maya. Thanks so much, Hugo.
That was really fun.
And our trackers, Dark Diplomat and Red Armor. Big thank you to you guys. Until next time, everybody, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.